The Las Vegas Sportsline. Presented by the Westgate Las Vegas, home of the world's largest race and sports book and the Super Contest.
Money won is twice as sweet as money earned.
Presented by WagerTalk.com.
And here we go. It is the Tuesday edition of the Las Vegas Sportsline. I'm Dave Cokin. Glad to have you with us on this beautiful day in Las Vegas. Marco DAngelo is here. We've got Ari Platinum behind the console, working those fingers, those magic fingers, making sure we're on the air. Matt Humans is going to join us from VSiN at some point in the show. Matt's going to give away something too. He's doing it's Santa Matt.
Oh,
he's bringing in some gift cards, and we're going to give away something on a trivia question. Jeff Sherman from Superbook USA will join us with key behind the counter info, including a couple of new items they've put up that you can bet on that I think you'll find fun. I think I introduced everybody, right?
You did.
Okay, good. So let's talk about what took place last night before we get into what might take place tonight and other things. This is a crazy game between the Panthers and Saints. I mean, 12-9. And it was kind of a 12-9 game. It wasn't a great game, but it sure had enough weirdness. This is a game the Panthers should have been well ahead in, but you have a terrible turnover at the end of the half by Newton, and then a fumble in the red zone later on by the Panthers. And then at the end of the game, this nutty, crazy sequence. Oh, and leading up to that, Saints score a touchdown and then give up a pick two on the 2-point conversion. I mean, you can make a case that no matter which side lost last night, it was going to be a bad beat. At the very least, it was a weird beat for New Orleans backers.
Fortunately, Dave, I was on the right side of the game. Not right side, the side that got cashed. Because I don't think you could say either side.
Right side.
No. Carolina, for most of the game, was the right side. They played very well defensively, holding the Saints in check. The Saints, I don't know why they weren't attacking, passing more. They were committed to the run last night. But Cam Newton, first of all, right before the half, we talked about it right before we went on air. How stupid is he when he gets the first down? The minute he's tackled on that first down late in the first half, there's 33 seconds left when he hits the ground.
Right. And he's supposed to call timeout.
You're supposed to call timeout on me. Instead,
Marco, there was something important that he had to
to jump up and start to do his first down celebration, and 10 seconds went off the clock before the sideline got to it's insane. And then he throws the interception. Absolutely inexcusable sequence of events there. But, Dave, you want to talk about emotions. The fact that the Saints score the touchdown and you say, okay, they're going to kick the extra point or they go for two. Oh, they're lining up for two. So now you're looking at
what's they're supposed to do.
What they're supposed to do in that position. So now you're sitting there. Most people were sitting with a +6 ticket, okay? Right. So you're rooting.
I had a -6 ticket.
Okay, so you're rooting hard for them to miss the 2-point conversion. Not only does he miss the 2-point conversion, they get the interception and run it back. It makes it a 12-9 game. So you think you're safe because you figure if the Saints get it back again, we're probably going to look at, run the clock out, maybe kick a field goal. Right. But then they kept running, and they kept running, and they were in position to score the touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy fumbles the ball through the end zone for a touchback.
I mentioned it's the second time in 3 days I've been on the wrong side of one of those because I was on the wrong side of it in the Fresno. We were both on Fresno State Saturday, and one of their guys did it. Yeah. And at the time, it was like, oh, no. Yeah. Because I really thought at that point I might
left the back door open for Arizona State.
Not just that. I mean, it could have cost them the game.
Right.
Because Fresno turned it over twice after that. It doesn't matter, though. Fresno just obliterated Arizona State in the fourth quarter of that game. They slaughtered them. But last night it was pretty significant. And the thing was, obviously I was hoping, well, maybe he'll screw up the math. I didn't want him going for two in the first place because it's going to be 12-7 if they don't make it, and that's not good for me.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the game, it's like, well, I think I'm going to win here.
You were in position to win, or at least definitely come out of there with the push.
Yeah.
But then once they got the ball back, Cam Newton, you look at the fourth quarter
he's
throws.
Playing hurt.
The no velocity on his throws at all. And you could, even in his motion, you could see that he's short-arming his motion. Something is definitely wrong there. And
he's got a bad shoulder.
They got to shut him down.
I don't see any point in playing him the last 2 games because he is just simply not 100%. He's not even close.
No.
You know, I know these guys want to play. Okay, he's a gamer. So's Aaron Rodgers. So's Matt Stafford. And they'll probably all play this weekend. And I can't not
mathematically
they're
not done.
Well,
mathematically, but they're done. They're done.
Okay, they would need so many things to break right, and it's not going to happen.
They would need what happened to the Buffalo Bills last year on the final Sunday. Like 3 teams lose that need to lose, and they win out, but it ain't going to happen.
Meanwhile, the Golden Knights lost the game last night, but a couple of good things. One, they had a successful road trip. It could have been better. They blew a 3-0 lead in one of the games and only got 1 point out of that. But still, 2-1-1 is an acceptable road trip. And more importantly, Malcolm Subban played really well last night for the Golden Knights, and that's going to allow them to have a little more confidence to give Fleury some time off here and there, which I think they need to do. To me, that was an important, good performance from Subban last night.
And it's the exact reason, Dave, when we did the show yesterday, when we did the 4 at 4, I gave the under in that game. I bet the under in that game. I just thought, and that went off at 6.5. I waited till game time to play that, and I got it under 6.5. It was like stealing money. Good game for him, and as I pointed out to you, Dave, he has not been good. We know that. They haven't had confidence, but he hasn't gotten to play now that the team is intact with, Nate Smith back after the suspension and everything. This is a different team than they were at the beginning of the year.
And they got to find a way to get him 1 out of every 4 starts anyway. Sometimes 1 out of 3, but 1 out of 4 anyway.
You're going to wear Fleury out because if you not only remember he went deep last year, he went deep the last 2 years because he was playing. Again, he was splitting time with Murray in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh went to back-to-back championships.
You can't predict injuries, but I don't want to get hurt.
No.
And
that's the only reason he got time off last year.
Yeah, that's right. Because he had
the concussion.
He had the concussion. That was in other words, that was a profitable game for the Golden Knights, in my opinion, because of Subban's performance. Let's take a look at some of tonight's action. We do that by checking out the Tuesday. MJ Christensen, 4 at 4.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Put them 4s up. Put the 4s up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sportsline's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
All right, look, we're getting close to the deadline now. We're a week away, and if you haven't gotten your Christmas shopping done yet, you better start hustling. Here's an idea. An MJ Christensen gift card. It's easy enough. Just call the store, visit the store at Boca Park, MJChristensen.com online, go to their Facebook page. You can't go wrong with an MJ Christensen gift card, no question about that. Or if you want to buy a specific item, make it a little more personal, go visit the store, ask some questions. There are some great sales on designer jewelry taking place right now at MJ Christensen, so make it a Merry Christmas for both yourself and a loved one. Because if you ain't making the loved one happy, then not going to be a Merry Christmas for you either. Or at least the aftermath won't be very good, so you got to take care of that. Let's check out some games tonight. Lakers are in action, and that means they'll be busy at the betting windows around town because the Lakers draw a lot of action. And one would think the Lakers will be drawing most of the money tonight as they visit the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, anytime you can get the Lakers at this kind of number, Dave, they're always going to get a lot of action, and that's what we're seeing at the windows tonight. But I'll tell you what, Dave, this is the final game of a 4-game road trip for the Lakers. And, they've played 3 out of 3 games in 4 days going into this one. So I'm not going to ride the Lakers here. Brooklyn's playing their best basketball of the season right now. They've won 5 in a row, Dave. They've covered 6 in a row against the spread. I'll go ahead and take the hot team here at home, getting the plus points here, getting 2.5 on the number. I'll take the Brooklyn Nets.
Before we get to the next game, I have to issue a public apology for something I did this morning. I'm really ashamed of myself. Somebody named Sweetest Velma. That's her handle on Twitter. I don't follow her, but somebody I do follow retweeted this. 3 things you should never break: promises, trust and someone's heart. And that's the best advice I have to offer. And I replied, one more thing you shouldn't break. You left out wind, at least publicly, Velma. And I just couldn't resist.
Oh,
I had to do it.
Dave.
This is why I love Twitter. It's a chance to act like you're 14 at times and get away with it. Anyway, back to the games. Sorry, Velma. Xavier and Missouri. Well, there's been some action on this game. Woo! Missouri was the favorite last night. Not anymore. That line made it as high as Xavier 3.5. I think it's come back down a little bit. Musketeers getting the action there. Quanzo Martin hasn't gotten rave reviews yet at Missouri. Look, we know he can coach, but he has not been able to find the right combination yet. Missouri's off a good game, though. And however here, do they go a little bit, I don't know, flat? I don't know if that's the right word because Xavier's a name opponent. I'm sure they're excited about the game. But they got the annual battle with Illinois coming up on the weekend. And in reading one of the local pieces last night, they were already talking more about that game than this game. Now, that was the beat writer, obviously, so right. I don't know if the players feel the same way, but that's always a warning sign to me when the next game is bigger than this game, and it's not like Xavier's a pushover.
No, and unfortunately, last night that was the case. We missed, I still went with Arizona State last night and ignored the fact that they had the big game coming up. That was the only, blemish on that one, and it came in. So I agree with you, Dave. I'm going to go against Missouri here, and I'm looking at this Missouri team, Dave. Their best win of the season was Oregon State. That doesn't impress me. They haven't played a tough schedule to date. Anytime they stepped up at all, they got squashed. They lost. Iowa State blew them out earlier. I look at this Xavier team, and at the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought that they were going to be down a notch.
I think they are down a notch, but they're still a pretty good team.
They started out 2-3, the season, getting it, but now they got things rolling. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. I'm going to look at them. I'm going to respect the money that came in on this game. This money came in hard, like you said, last night, opened up, come in this morning, drove it up. I'm going to take Xavier. I'm going to lay the points here. I've got them. My numbers have them winning by 5 to 6 points. That's under the number, so I'll go ahead and take Xavier.
This is a big game. Buffalo and Syracuse. Look at Buffalo's rating. Yeah. Wow. These are high times for the Buffalo Bulls. And tonight, a really big test for them as they go into the Carrier Dome to face Syracuse. Buffalo's going to be really fired up for this game. But will they get stage fright? Because I think it's a pressure game for Buffalo. I mean, they've got to prove that they're worthy of this national acclaim that they're getting right now. And, the Carrier Dome it can still be an intimidating atmosphere. I didn't play the game. I think Buffalo's probably the better team here. But you can argue it's the biggest game. I'm not going to say the biggest game ever for the program, but it is the biggest game in a long time for them, especially in a non-conference setting.
It's the biggest game that I can remember, Dave.
Yep.
When I was writing my lines into my book this morning, I'm old school. I got to write the lines in because you make the mental notes as you're doing the stuff. And I wrote this down, and I wrote Syracuse 3.5. And I'm like, what? Syracuse 3.5? And I had to look back and I double-check it, and I'm like, yeah, Buffalo's ranked 14th.
Yeah. And by the way, on straight power ratings, they probably shouldn't even be getting 3.5.
No.
More like 1.
Yeah, you're getting – there's still – Syracuse is getting the name because the people are going to still look at that. And, Dave, as you said, the biggest thing here now for Buffalo, they're not the hunter anymore.
No.
They are the hunted, and they are going into big time, like you said, the Carrier Dome. Here's the difference. Syracuse is going to want to slow this game down. Buffalo wants to go up-tempo.
They want pace.
They want pace, and they shoot the threes. They put the threes up a lot. And when you're facing the Boeheim zone, that's the way to be. If you can knock it down from three land, you're going to beat the zone. You'll crack the zone. They hit the foul shots. I don't understand why. You look at Syracuse year in and year out. If it comes down to the end of the game and it goes to the free throw line, I never have confidence in Syracuse at the foul line. I don't know why he can never recruit guys that can shoot foul shots. 69% they're hitting the foul shots this year. You don't want that if you're trying to protect the lead. I'll take Buffalo.
And Creighton, Oklahoma match up tonight. The Blue Jays have taken